the questionings of a trial court judge treated or admitted as evidence? Kindly educate me, sir.
You mean questioning of the trial?
Questioning, a trial court judge asks questions
Okay.
of the witness. And then some of the answers provided by the witness may be used or may not be used as evidence. Assuming that the replies or the response of the witness may be used as evidence by the court or may be appreciated by the judge in rendering a decision, then how would that be treated?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, when you say may be used by the court, what the court may do is consider the evidence, not use it. Now, secondly,
Use as evidence.
if the examination made by the court, Your Honor, far exceeds that which is normal, then the law on call neutrality of the judge will come in. That is precisely one of the cases before the Sandigan. Examining the records, it consisted of several pages, and the Supreme Court was convinced that the judge there was already performing the act of a prosecutor and not that of a judge.
Wow.
That is not the ruling of Justice Cuevas. That is the ruling of the court.
But Mr. Counsel for the defense, you are actually asking this presiding officer to make a ruling with respect to the treatment of this evidence as far as the culmination of this hearing is concerned, and that is the judgment. There is a rule on that, and I will not pronounce it now, that is covered by existing jurisprudence, not only here, but from where we copied this process. So, as far as the culmination of this hearing is concerned, with due respect to the court, to the highest court of this land, that is outside of the jurisdiction of that court. And it is up to this court to make a decision on the basis of its appreciation of all the facts gathered in this proceeding at that point when it will make a judgment.
I'm sorry, Your
And the guilt or innocence of the witness is beyond the appeal of anyone. So, the gentleman from Cavite.
What is the answer to my question, Mr. President?
Precisely, I was about to ask, Your Honor, an apology to the presiding judge,
Yes.
Your Honor. Because when I do explain, I was only explaining by way of answering the gentleman from Cavite. I never intended to influence whatever the ruling of this honorable will be. But we cannot be denied from asserting a right in favor of the client, Your Honor.
Correct, Your Honor. As I said, as far as the ruling of the court yesterday, interlocutory matters are within the judicial review powers of the Supreme Court. But the trial and decision of the Senate as the sole authority ordained by the Constitution to try and decide this case cannot be questioned in any court. Not even in the United States will it be allowed to be questioned. On the merits, now, with respect to the issue at hand, the understanding of this chair is, and the understanding of this chair regarding the tendency of the question of the gentleman from San Juan and the gentleman from Iloilo, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to test the credibility of that witness, whether indeed the document involved for which he pronounced to be fake yesterday is correct. They are testing the credibility of that witness. That is the understanding of this chair. Dispute it if you may.
That is also my understanding, Your Honor, please. Because there were insinuations, not categorical statement, that this issue of fake or illegal release of documents pertaining to the bank records of the Honorable Justice Corona, Your Honor, it seemed to be in doubt, Your Honor, that there is some leak and so on. That's why I never stood up, not even, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Correct. There was a statement from this witness that the document involved in the discussion is fake. Then, two members of this court, two senator judges, propounded a question to this witness to test her credibility with respect to that document. And they agreed not to touch on the foreign currency deposit. They were only dealing with the peso accounts. To give due respect to the decision of this court to respect the TRO. So, I allowed it in order to test the credibility of this witness, whether indeed the document is fake or not.
Along those lines, Your Honor, we cannot help but fully concur and with the statement or the pronouncement of the Honorable Presiding Judge. We were merely led by the fact that apparently the question goes out of what is ordinary, because but if the purpose is to determine the falsity or the leak, then we have no objection, Your Honor, because I therefore submit, Your Honor, and I withdraw my former observation relative to who is going to offer this evidence, because this evidence may no longer be part of the what we call impeachment proceedings, Your Honor.
We know this, we know this.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, as I told you, if you ask me to rule on this, I am going already to the
merit
of the case. We are not going into the merit of the case. We are discussing an issue of credence of the witness. Okay?
With the clarification made, Your Honor, allow me to state that it is never my purpose, or it's never the purpose of the defense to question the validity of the ruling, Your Honor. So now, I was just...
Anyway, Mr. President...
I'm sorry, my Senator.
I merely wanted to be educated by the defense counsel because I hold him in the highest regard.
Thank you.
In spite of his of some boring objections.
I'm sorry. I'm just exercising my rights.
Some of my questions have been overtaken by the ruling of the chair. Anyway, I'd like to ask the witness, paki-qualify nga po.
Tapos na ako.
Yung sinabi niyong fake yung documents, are you referring to the document itself, the form, or the entries? Pag sinabi niyong fake ang dokumento, were you referring to the document itself, the form? Because dalawa po ito yung signature form, yung isa naman, yung entries doon sa signature form. When somebody opens an account, necessarily has to fill up a signature form card or signature form. So alin po ba yung fake, yung fake, yung form or yung entries doon sa form?
Sir, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
When I was asked to compare, and when I say fake, they're different. They're not the same. So,
no, ang tanong ko nga po, ano yung nire-refer niya na hindi pareho? Hindi pareho ang signature form o hindi pareho yung mga entries doon sa available sa bangko ninyo? Because in that regard, I will require you to bring during the next trial, next hearing, yung samples ng inyong signature form, no? Sample
in
of
the
a signature
standard format, sir, it's...
Yun nga po ang tanong ko, ito bang form fake o genuine? Yung form.
Yung standard format niya, sir.
Yes.
It's what we have in the bank.
So genuine yung walang problema sa signature form.
Sa form.
Ang sinasabi ninyong fake yung entries.
Yes, sir.
Dito yung nakapaloob dito.
Yung mga
If I remember correctly, with the permission of the gentleman from Cavite, in fairness to the witness, her answer was that there are entries in this document that are not found in the original. Is that correct,
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Witness? And there are entries in the original that are not found in the document under discussion. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so that's the...
Thank you, Mr.
The
President.
answer
That's
of
all
the-
for this representation.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, just 30 seconds.
Yeah, the gentleman from Iloilo.
Just to make it clear, the specimen signature of the bank officers should be the specimen signature on or about the date when this was signed, so that these are not new specimen signatures. Second point, Your Honor.
Do you understand the request of the Senator Judge from Iloilo?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain. These accounts were opened January 26, 2009. We asked for the specimen signature. The specimen signature should be those appearing in the documents of the bank on or about this January 26, 2009 in the case of account number ending 7358. Is that correct? Can you understand that, Madam Witness?
You would like to get the specimen signatures of the officers on those dates mentioned.
That's correct,
No.
yes. Now, you keep on saying that there is the difference between what appears in here. There were entries which are here and entries which were not here compared to the original. You just said that. Now, can you bring the original of this and just cover the dollars so that we will see?
May I refer to counsel?
No,
Your Honor?
can you just, can you bring it?
I believe, sir, that it is covered by the
No,
order
just,
of the
just we are not asking you to reveal the details, whatever it is, on the dollar account. Just the peso accounts. You can cover it in any manner you want. But because you keep on saying, there's a difference between this Xerox and the original. So bring the original. Cover whatever you want to cover, insofar as the dollar accounts are concerned. But there are a lot of data here which does not involve the dollar, like the passport number. So all that we're asking to test your credibility that this is a fake document, because you were the one who raised that. Bring the original, cover the dollars if you wish. We will not look at the dollar in deference to the ruling of the chair and the Supreme Court. Just the peso.
May I consult my counsel, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Tingnan natin. Siya nagsabi lang yan.
Yes?
Sir, with due respect, the documents are already with the head office, and
So-
our president would be the more competent person to answer for that because he has custody of it.
Well, he has custody. Mr. President, that's a lame
It's not-
excuse. Mr. President, that is a lame excuse. He can always get it from the bank president because these are records from the Katipunan branch which were brought to the head office.
Anyway, the president of the PS Bank is here. Why don't you ask the PS Bank
Yeah.
to come inside to answer this question?
Stand muna tayo. Muna. Mr. President,
Not be able to concentrate.
Mr. President, while they are calling the bank president and whether we